This has been a good morning, a beautiful treatment by Christine, and two beautiful songs. And today I was wanted to talk about gratitude. I wanted to talk about gratitude for a reason. I chose the subject that I'm going to speak on today, over the rivers and through the wood. Did you ever hear that? Yeah. I learned that when I was a kid, and I just loved that song. We lived near woods, and there was no river. We had a creek, and there were no sleighs and stuff like that. It said, over the rivers and through the wood, to grandmother's house we go, the horse knows the way, to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. And we didn't have sleighs. But I felt it. I could feel that, just going over. It brought a feeling of goodness and gratitude in my heart. And it was this month, the month of November. That's the month of gratitude. I love this month. I love this month. It's the month of gratitude. And I've always loved this time of year. I grew up on a farm, and this is a time of year when all the work is done and you have brought in the harvest of the year. And you can sit back and rest, and usually everyone get together and they give thanks for the crops that have come in, and the kids get to play, and the best food is being cooked. Well, anyway, I won't go into that. But to start the talk today, I wanted to start from the perspective of gratitude and appreciation in my life. And I started looking back through my life, and I have so many times, have had so many opportunities and have so many opportunities to be grateful. Indeed, every moment is a moment for gratitude. When I look at my life, when I just take time, when I get that feeling when we're singing a song. I don't know. I thought there was a storm coming. I thought, man, the rain's coming down, and now the wind's coming. But I thought my talk was being so dynamic so early that someone else just wanted to come in. They wanted to break down the doors to come in. So all of this gratitude, all this opportunity to be grateful, all of this opportunity to be grateful. And so I was thinking, and I wanted to think back, one of the biggies for me, what did I remember? Something that I remember that just stood out, that was highlighted in my memory. And when I was thinking about this, it was during the time, it was the week of the Veterans Day week. And I went back to the time when I was leaving Vietnam. I had been to Vietnam for 2 tours. And it was, I never forget, it was January 27th, 1968. And we had been in Da Nang for 2 days. That's where we were flying out of. We come out of the field, and we were in Da Nang. And they've been waiting. We get a time, and then it would cancel. Time, it was canceled. Time, it was canceled. On midnight of the 27th, and the 28th, when it hit midnight, the Tet started, the New Year, the Vietnamese New Year started. We knew something was astir. We knew something was in the air, because while we were in the field, we could see the buildup. We didn't know what was going on, but we knew something was going on. So us who had been there for a while, we wanted to get out. We were short timers, so we didn't want to be a statistic. That one of those statistics that 90% of the casualties is within the last day. We didn't want to be one of those. But so finally, we said that we waited. We call it hurry up and wait. We waited, and then at 11:45, January 27th, they marched us down to the hangar, and we boarded the plane. And the plane was full, and nothing but a sea of green. We had a field uniforms on. No frills. Everything was taken down, nothing but troops. It must have been whatever that big plane held. And we took off, and everything was quiet. It was so quiet you couldn't hear a pin drop as the plane took off and lifted, and it banked over Da Nang. And then it got, I guess, to the altitude, that about 30,000 feet. And the pilot said, we just left the air boundaries of Vietnam. When he said that, the whole plane just exploded with exhilaration and applause, and we jumped up, and everyone was so grateful. You could see gratitude just bouncing off the roof of off the ceiling of the plane, and we were just so happy, high-fiving and just giving thanks. It seemed like every cell of our body, even the plane itself, was gyrating in exhilaration of gratitude. And when I think of that, I can feel that right now. I can feel that feeling of how grateful I was at that time. And I still am. It's as if it was just yesterday. And I know that we have that in our lives, that gratitude. And there's more than that. There was many, but this was a highlight for me. And I know that you have highlights in your life. You have highlights in your life of those times that you can remember. And this is a month for that, to remember that. So today my talk is about being grateful in this month. And us as religious scientists, I don't see, there's no one here for the first time. It's all old timers. So I'm going to pose the question to you: how often in your life, how often in your day are you grateful? How often? I think all of us here are students of this philosophy. When you are doing affirmative prayer, your prayer treatment, as Christine so beautifully did, I love to hear that lady treat. She got to that fourth step of treatment, and the 5-step treatment, that's gratitude. And she dwelled in it. She just dwelled in it to thanks. I give thanks for this. And I could feel that thanks when we open our hearts in gratitude. Because we open our hearts in knowing just who we are. When you give thanks, it's hard to give thanks closed up. It's like giving with the hands. It's hard to give with a closed hand, to give anything with the closed hand. You have to open your hand, right, Glenn? You have to open your hand. When you give thanks and you give gratitude, you have to open your heart and open your mind. Now, I do, and I don't know anyone else who's been fully grateful that haven't done that. And I was thinking some more things that I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for this center. You see, I found this center, and my life changed. And as I go through this, I would like for you to think of some times when your life have changed. When I found this center, I was working at this stuff. I knew the laws, and I knew the language. But it's still breaking through to open myself up to this gratitude where I really understood myself. When I just open, and break down the boundaries, and to release old paradigms that had taken me over, like anger. Those paradigms of fear? Some of you probably had them sometime or another, but maybe not. I'm looking out on you guys here, and I see everyone is so clean and so clear. But how about a paradigm of jealousy? Have anyone ever been jealous? How about paradigms of worry and doubt? Those come up, and they come up because they are there. They come up not out of any to harm us. We harm ourselves sometimes because of them, but they're They are leftovers. They are paradigms that was built at some times that was there to protect us.